So the programme here is an undergraduate architecture programme accredited by the RIBA and AOB. Kind of the basic taxonomy of the course here is threefold: history, around design, and around technology and environment. In the pre-honours years, which are the first 2 years of the programme, these three threads kind of weave through the years. So in each semester you study a course in each, and as the programme builds, synthesis increases and the students have more autonomy as to what things they kind of fold into their design projects. Because we have that little bit of space in the programme, there's actually an integrated practice experience period in the second semester of the third year. Within that, students find positions in architecture practices, but also we have funds to do competitions, and many people volunteer or work with city councils or work with kind of participatory practices. So there's a kind of a wide range of experiences that students bring back into the school to take on into their final year of studies. And we find that the students really mature during that period and are able to kind of reflect on the work that they've done up until that point.
I really enjoy drawing by hand, and I think the course has, right from the start, really pushed me to develop my drawing skills, both in kind of understanding the technical aspects of construction, but also how a space feels to our senses.
Spatial design and any form of design that impacts the way in which people react to their environment has a real power in terms of social, environmental and economic change, and that's something that I'm really passionate about being a part of. I think I'm really inspired to read architecture and practice architecture because of its power to affect people, whilst we can also explore that digitally. And I think it going into my kind of final years of education here, it's a real hybrid of the two. So it's working with physical design means and creative explorations, as well as investigating how that can be presented digitally.
So I guess going into university, I had this kind of idea that architecture was just building buildings. So on the one hand, yes, architects do build buildings, but there's also these chances to kind of engage with other things. So a big area is, for example, architectural journalism. Fantastic thing to get into, and obviously you can do that in the university context with Crumble. It was set up with the aspiration of bringing together different voices to discuss kind of architecture just generally. So from a personal point of view, I've been involved with Crumble for just over 2 years now, kind of first as a designer, which was a great way of kind of taking some of the skills that I was learning in studio and applying it to a slightly different context, and then later as the kind of editor-in-chief of the magazine.
I think Edinburgh really support who you are as an individual, and that's something that I felt really personally when I was nominated as a woman in the field of architecture as an architectural student for the Women in Property Awards 2022.
So we've had huge success recently in the RIBA Bronze Medal, which is the undergraduate RIBA award. And our students have won on 2 occasions in the recent past in sequence the Sustainability Medal. We've also won in the past the Undergraduate Dissertation Prize on a number of occasions. Last year, one of our students won the New Media Award in the London Film Festival. And when students come into architecture, they expect to graduate from this programme and to move on from Part 1 studies onto Part 2 studies. And of course, that's the career path that many take. Last year, we initiated an alumni lecture series where we're inviting alumni back into the school to talk about the various pathways that they've taken. We've had Hugh Strange come to speak. We've had Jassam Al-Jawad from Al-Jawad Pike. We have had Donald Matheson from Matheson Whiteley.
I would really recommend it to anyone wanting to know about how we live life in a way, because we shape our spaces and ultimately they shape us.